What's up, everybody? My client's here. So what I'm going to do today is compare two exercises. So a barbell bench press versus a plate-loaded flat press. So it's going to be the benefits of both, the benefits of one over the other, or the negatives of one over the other. Big thing with this one is knowing how to press your back through the bench. And I went over this before in a previous video, but I'll go over it again. So when you're pressing up, you're thinking about pressing your back through the bench. So keeping those shoulders against the bench. A lot of people have the negative concept that I need to push this away, which usually rounds the shoulders and it brings your scapula off the bench. So, which concaves the chest and deactivates it. So what we need to do is we need to keep the scapula against the bench, shoulders against the bench, and basically just press up using the chest. So you want full stretch when you bring it down, and when you push up, you're pushing your back through the bench and you're raising that chest up. So with me, what I do is this one has two little notches. I usually put my ring finger on the outer notch, but that's a preference that I have. Everyone's different. Some people put their pinky on the inner one. When you do that, you're using a lot more triceps than you should be. So the whole point of this exercise is chest. So I'm going to open my grip a little wider, bring it all the way down to the chest so I feel the stretch. And when I press up, I'm pushing my back through the bench like this. So where should the bar hit you on the chest? So with power lifters, they tend to bring it down here and they bring their hands close together and they tuck their elbows in. And it gives them more power. They have their feet planted against the floor and they're pressing up. Bodybuilders are completely different. So we want to activate the chest as much as possible, and we don't really care about what we're lifting, like the weight wise. So we just want to put the most stress on the muscle at one time. So bringing it down, full stretch, pressing up. And I only want to use the chest. And you see I'm hitting a lot higher than where a powerlifter would. I'm way up into the chest. Common mistakes is like what I said, a lot of people think about pressing the bar and they bring their shoulders off. So when they're doing it, yes, they bring it down, they have the stretch, everything's good, but then they do this. And you see my shoulders are off and now my chest is concave. So for when I bring it back, my shoulders are already off the bench, and every rep you do that, they come out a little bit further. So by the end of the set, it's all of a shoulder press and a tricep press rather than a chest. You are going to feel the stretch, but to get it off, you're going to have to use your shoulders. So you got to think about when you're doing it, you press that back against the bench and you engage. Sternum comes up, press away. Plate-loaded flat press. This is against the flat barbell press. So to get into this one, basically you get in the same way. Line up the handles as if you're going to be getting in, and it's where the bar you want to sit. Okay, and like I said before, when you press, think about pushing your back through the bench and popping your chest up. So as I'm pressing, I'm thinking about, like, I'm not pressing the weight away from me, I'm pushing myself into the bench. So I'm pressing up and I'm pushing myself through the bench. So as this comes up, like I'm pressing away, I'm pushing my back through. Common mistakes here are people just aren't in the right position. They're either way down here, which right now, that even in this position kills my front delts, or they're way too heavy. And you got to think, this machine starts at the low point. So you got to get in and get that and you got to press it up to get ready. So this is a machine you're going to be a spotter if you're wanting to load up to get it where you're nice and ready to go. Come down till you feel a full stretch. Hold that stretch. Press up. you don't need to fully extend, and that's another big common mistake is everyone comes up and they fully extend to complete lockout. That just disengages my chest, and my triceps are now doing full load of this. So you're only coming up 3/4, flexing the chest, coming back down to full stretch, 3/4, coming down, and control the weight on the way down. Don't just let it come down. Now, I'll be honest, I did that when I was young. Do this and just pop it down, up, pop it down, up. And it was more football training. I was trying to lift heavy weights as many times as I could. And so that's the way I was taught. When I first started lifting, I was a football player. So I just said 225 and bench as many times as you can. So I bounced it off my chest. It wasn't until I started meeting and training with bodybuilders that I learned properly how to do it. And my chest grew very quickly doing it the right way. So control is a big one. Don't lift too heavy, and do a wide enough grip that you're feeling it in your chest, not feeling it in your delts or your triceps. Too narrow, it basically feels like this, and you're almost doing like a tricep push. And other than that, the one I preferably like, if you had asked me 20 years ago when I was first getting into it, I would have easily told you barbell. I used to love doing barbell press, 4 plates, 5 plates aside, loved it. My form was probably horrible at the time, but I was still doing it. Nowadays, and especially through my pro career, I loved doing this type machine or a dumbbell press, because it gives you more of a stretch when you're down. So you can actually go past the chest and then push through. Instead of the barbell, it stops right there. So your stretch isn't at the most optimal at the bottom. And so that was what I would prefer now. It would be the machine or a dumbbell in a very close second place. Barbell bench would be third in my choice of machines. So that would be my view on chest pressing. Hope you guys take that information in and use it in your next workout.